smooth elections as far as security is concerned. And that takes us in all various types of simulations across the country, length and breadth of the country, wherever we feel it prudent and wherever we think that the process will have to roll out there. So after that capacity building process, we went into the planning stages, the nominations. That one was also rolled out peacefully and smoothly to ensure that as a security outfit, we observe the international standard required to see through all those necessary things and make sure that we professionally delivered what is expected of us. And the nomination process was peacefully and easily and professionally conducted. Then we move into the campaign stages. What we did this time around is to ensure that from history, what we used to encounter in the past, by allowing the politicians to crisscross the territorial limits of this country and ensure that they sell their manifestos and their political aspirations to would-be voter population. And we monitor them from the background. But in the past, we have some instances where we have to physically intervene to ensure that the process roll out very peacefully. So we decided this time around to attach or to deploy our own assets to every aspiring political aspirant to cruise with those particular units to the length and breadth of the country, so that among the units, they will be able to communicate. Because if you look at the geographical landscape of this country, it's very narrow. And in that process, when all the aspirants are cruising into the country, there could be some fracas here and there. So to avoid that happening, we ensure we have units that communicate with themselves. They plan the routes, the exits, and the entry routes, so that there is no fracas between any political party or any sympathizer or any other person. So I'm happy to report at this point in time that since the kickoff of the campaign, we did not receive any single incident as far as that situation is concerned. So that means the mechanism that we put in place to ensure that everybody cruise easily, effectively, diligently to exercise their constitutional rights to reach to any locations they want to reach as far as this country is concerned. It has been done successfully, and we just have less than 24 or 48 hours for that process also to come to an close. And we are not anticipating or envisaging any problem whatsoever. That means the campaign process also will be very successful. The next stage is the D-Day proper, where we don't expect any particular problem. But here, every polling station is covered by us across the country. We have 1,554 of them, and we've deployed effectively to all those polling stations to ensure that polling day, polling progresses peacefully, easily, and without any hindrance. So that is for the polling day proper. After the polling day proper, what the contingencies that we have is the post-election period. And this is a fragile situation. Every one of us here knows that polling has its own undertones. And when the process is done, There could be here and there some skirmishes. What those ones also, we have adequate planning and adequate resources that are deployed to ensure nothing of that ordinary or nothing of that kind, okay, happens, so that if the entire political process, as far as security is concerned, is free, fair, with a very peaceful atmosphere. Like I said, the post period normally is always the challenge, but we are on top of it. We've provided adequate resources, both man and material, to ensure any situation that comes across is handled. And there is no situation in this country that we projected which can't be handled diligently and professionally. We are well prepared for every eventuality. We are well prepared for every unfortunate scenario, and we are also better prepared, better equipped, and well motivated to ensure that we take care and handle that situation. For now, the security of this country is very peaceful, is very relaxing, and we are not, there are no serious indicators that is triggered or is signaling us that there could be a serious break in law and order. And as I'm talking to you, we've assessed every inch on the length and breadth of this country, all indicators, though there are some indicators that are indicating that there could be a minimal law and order situations, but they are not situations that can't be handled, and they can be rectified if the right thing is put in place. Once again, I would like to reiterate this, that the Gambia, and the Gambians in particular, the Gambia is not a violent society. The Gambian peoples are not violent people. The Gambian people are peace-loving people, peace-loving people, and it is always easy to handle them when it is a security situation. So in that, I want to assure all of you here that as far as security is concerned, the security apparatus of these countries are on the top of their game, and we are not envisaging any potential law and order situation. All the security apparatus, all the security apparatus are on high alert and high gear to ensure that these elections cruises peacefully without any hindrance. And like I said, the security of the country for now, the security situation across the country is very encouraging and is very accommodating. So I urge you to enjoy your stay in the Gambia and to enjoy your observations, and rest assured, Gambia is almost crime-free and it is trouble-free. Any other problems that could emerge in the process can easily be handled without any problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, I thank you for listening, and thank you very much.
I'm sorry, my friends in the media, you want to hijack our program. Okay, thank you so much, DIG and the police command, for those words of encouragement and also the spirit of reassurance. So we really count on the police to make sure that there is law and order, and that the peace and tranquility that Gambia is known for which reason it's called the smiling coast of Africa, I think is quite evident in that statement. Thank you so much, DIG. And next, I would like to invite the chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, Ali Momanjai, to deliver his statement. Yes. Welcome, Chairman.
Well, good morning to you all. Distinguished members of the White Corps, the General of Police, the dear colleagues and sisters, members of the observer groups, members of the IEC, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my singular honor and privilege to welcome you all to this briefing of election observers for the Gambia special election come 4th December 2021. I am also pleased to welcome the observer missions, both domestic and international, and various media houses here present. As you are all aware, the Gambia is conducting a presidential election on 4th December 2021. Nomination of the candidates was held from 30th October to 5th November 2021. 26 aspirants submitted their nomination papers to me, the election officer. Out of these, 5 withdrew their nominations, while 15 were rejected for not fulfilling all nomination requirements. The nomination papers of 6 candidates were accepted. These are the candidates currently contesting this election. The IEC ensures that due diligence was done such that the candidates fully satisfy all the legal requirements for nomination. However, some of those aspirants who were dissatisfied with the decisions of the returning officer and the commission filed petitions at the High Court. The High Court issued rulings on 2 of the petitions and requested the 2 president aspirants to submit their additional list of supports for the administrative area. These are the candidates for Gambia Moral Progress Congress and that of Citizens Alliance, that is CA. That of the 3rd aspirant who submitted as an independent candidate is still before the lower courts. It is important to note that the IEC, as a law-abiding institution, fully respects the decision of the court. However, the commission is being satisfied with the court's rulings, filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal. I would like to state that the President's election of 4th December will proceed as scheduled. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in order to conduct a peaceful, transparent, and fair elections, the need for security cannot be understated. The Office of the Inspector General of Police has provided appropriate security arrangements to ensure the safety of all persons and property in the electoral process. I would like to commend the IGP for providing adequate security during the nomination and the campaign. All of the candidates are provided with security details, as they are just voiced by the DIG here. Also, other security forces are really appreciated and commended. In this way, the Ministry of Media Houses is recognized by the Commission. The Gambia Radio and Television Services provides equal airtime to all candidates. I would like to remind all that the election results must not be broadcast before the official announcement by the chairman of the IEC, is being the returning officer. The Commission will put in place robust measures to ensure that resource stabilization and control are done in the most transparent and accurate manner. Polling and counting agents from each of the candidates will be allowed to monitor the whole process from start to finish. The IEC's role in conducting free and fair elections begins with issuing out voters' card on the spot, free of charge, to all those Gambians who are entitled to vote, that is, those who are over 18 years, 18 or 20 years. And our system is so transparent that I can say we are not behind any other country in the whole world in conducting free, transparent, credible elections. Because every aspect of the election process is observed by party agents. Starting from the registration of voters, when all parties and candidates are asked to send agents to witness everything from beginning to end. And at the end of the process, we paste all those who are registered in those polling stations, so that anybody who wants to have any complaint about anybody can do so to the appeal to the revising courts. Fortunately for this year, out of over 960,000 voters registered, not one single objection was raised. So the voter list is 100% approved. And now, from that point, come election day, we invite all party agents to witness every aspect of the whole process, beginning from the opening of the ballot drums to make sure that they are empty, they are sealed, I think sealed numbers, and voting starts. Because in each of the 1,554 polling stations, we give copies of those who are entitled to vote in the particular polling station to the parties. And when someone comes to vote, that person's name is called, and they all tick that the person has voted. Come the end of the process, the ballot drums are brought, and to make sure that none of the seals were disturbed. Then it's counted on the spot, witnessed by all party agents, and they are given copies of the result throughout the country, so that everybody will know that it's been done transparently, freely, and fairly. There are 6 contestants, but only one winner. And the losers should know that they have not voted for them, that's why they lost. Because everything was done in the eyes of their agents. So nobody will blame the IEC, and nobody should blame anyone. Gambia is a people country, we all know that. And once you lose, accept it, that they have voted more for the winner than yourself. So, not to keep waiting too long, in conclusion, I would like to assure the electorate, political parties, and the candidates, and all other stakeholders, that the Commission is fully committed to deliver to the Gambian people free, fair, credible, transparent elections come 4th December and beyond. On that note, I would like to thank you for your kind attention. God bless. Thank you very much. It's off here.
Okay, thank you. Great. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for that elaborate statement, and also for giving a vivid description of the Gambia's electoral process. That is how transparent it can be, that it is witnessed from A to Z. Every aspect of the process is witnessed by the political party agents or the candidate agents, such that they are fully aware and they are even part of the process all the way through, every step of the way. Thank you so much, Chairman, for that statement. And next, we would like to do a presentation which will be done by the Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Samu Janjai. But before which, I would please invite the high table to join the group so that we can effectively do our presentation. No. Presentation. Okay. I would like to invite the Chief Electoral Officer to do a presentation on the process. Welcome to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Director of Training, Communication and Public Affairs. Your Excellencies, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, representative of the Inspector General in the person of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, dear colleagues from Sister Electoral Commission, members of the Election Observer Mission present, members of the Independent Electoral Commission, media practitioners, ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and privilege to present to you a presentation on the presidential election of the Gambia 2021. My presentation outline would run as this. I will give some historical background of elections, electoral system and electoral laws, our EMB structure, membership and mandate, and some useful data on this election, as well as how elections are conducted in this country, gender issues in our election, grievances handling in our election, transparency in election management in the Gambia, election financing, and our website. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, the Gambia is a peaceful and a very stable country in the west coast of Africa. This is why it's called the Smiling Coast of West Africa. It gained her independence from the Great Britain in 1965, and to be specific, on the 18th of February 1965. The Gambia had several elections in the past, which were run by the then Ministry of Local Government. However, in 1994, a military takeover occurred and toppled the democratically elected government of Sadado Jawara. After which, a provisional independent electoral commission was set up in 1995. The PIEC conducted a referendum on a new constitution and also conducted the transitional election in 1996 and 1997, namely the presidential election of 1996 and the National Assembly election of 1997, which ushered a new civilian rule. The PIEC, the Provisional Independent Electoral Commission, was dissolved in 1997 and a new and a permanent EMB constituted in 1997 in line with the new constitution that was voted in 1996. Our electoral system in the Gambia is forced past the post, simple majority. Our electoral laws are sourced from the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, the Elections Act, and the Local Government Act. The EMB structure in the Gambia, the name of the EMB structure the name of the EMB is called the Independent Electoral Commission, the Gambia. It was established in 1997, to be specific, in April 1997, and is a permanent and an independent one. It has 5 members, comprising a chairperson and 4 other members. Appointment of the members to the commission are made by the President of the Republic of the Gambia in consultation with the Public Service Commission and the Judicial Service Commission. The term for a commission member is 2 7-year term at most, and the commission only reports to the National Assembly annually through the submission of activity report and audit accounts. The function or the mandate of the Independent Electoral Commission is to register political parties in the Gambia, register voters, conduct public elections such as presidential, National Assembly election, local government election, or the by-election, conduct the election of speaker, and the speaker of the National Assembly after National Assembly elections are, as well as announce election results. For this presidential election, the IEC has registered 962,157 registered voters to participate in this election. And 2001, 2006, 2011, and 2016 presidential election. And this 2021 would be the fifth presidential election conducted by the IEC. It also conducted 4 National Assembly elections, 2002, 2007, 2000. For local government elections, 3 elections are conducted so far, one in 2002, 2008, and 2013, as well as the other one in 2018. Several by-elections were also conducted. Some challenges in the conduct of election, and of course, there is no institution without any challenge. These are some of the challenges that the Commission is grappling with. One of them is inadequate funds, and of course, there is no sufficient fund for any activity or any institution. We also have some infrastructural developmental challenges because we have, other than our head office, we have our regional offices. We have also some issues of capacity building, despite that we are training more of our staff at the University of the Gambia. Okay, gender issues in our elections. For this election, 57% of the registered voters are female. We do not have any quota system or affirmative action in our laws. We are also aware that some civil society are lobbying for gender quota in elections. In the conduct of election, pregnant women and lactating mothers are given priority to vote without queuing at the polling station. Grievances handling. Actions and decisions of the IEC are only subjected to judicial review through objections, appeal, and petition filed at the courts. Transparency in election management. In the conduct of electoral activity, the IEC involved the participation of political or party or candidate agents, as well as the inter-party committee, the press and the media, and election observation mission. And the next program on the electoral calendar is the National Assembly election scheduled for April 2022. And the last program on the electoral cycle in the electoral calendar is the local government or the council election to be held in April 2023. We hope you will come back to observe all these elections after this one. For the general voter registration, which was conducted in May to July, a period of 44 voter registration days. At the close of the registration and the cross-matching and biometric cross-matching of the data collected, the number of voters as we have stand at 962,157 registered voters. Out of this, 57% are female, and coincidentally and interestingly, about 57% are between the ages of 18 and 35 years, called the youths. We have 1,554 polling stations in this election, and the Gambia has 7 regions, and we are using 53 constituencies to cast our vote. However, this presidential election will be a one constituency election. Later in this year, the IEC published in August a schedule of electoral activities showing activities and their timelines for the presidential election. This was published in August 2021. After this, and together with all the other electoral activities, the IEC has partnered in its drive to conduct voter education with the National Civic Education Council, the Women's Bureau, National Youth Council, and CSO Coalition on Elections, as well as IFS, International Foundation for Electoral Systems, which provided billboards and jingles to support the voter education drive of the Commission. They also do conduct radio and television panels, as well as provide T-shirts as voter education means. The IEC also conducted some regional authority sensitizations where regional governors, district chiefs, and village heads, as well as grassroots authorities were sensitized on activities, electoral activities to be conducted by the IEC. Moving on, nomination of candidates. Like the chairman highlighted in his speech, nomination of papers were issued from the 30th of September to the 29th of October 2021. During this period, 26 nomination papers were collected from the IEC. And these 26 nomination papers were also submitted for nomination to be accepted. And of these 26, 13 of them are political parties, and 13 of them are independent aspirants. Nomination papers were received, that is when they come to submit their nomination paper to the returning officer, were received from the 30th of October to the 5th of November. At the close of nomination on the 5th of November, the IEC, the returning officer has made this report that 5 withdrawals were made, 15 nomination papers rejected, 6 accepted. Of the rejected, 3 appealed to the Commission, but their appeals were rejected by the Commission. The same 3 that were that appealed to the Commission proceeded to the courts for the courts to order IEC to consider them. Judgment was passed on the 2 cases, and the judgment says they should submit additional support for Banjul, and this involved the case of Dr. Ismaila Cisse and the Citizen Alliance, and the case of Mr. Honorable Mai Ahmed Fadi and the GMC. For Dr. Cisse, he has submitted additional names for Banjul, but still now the returning officer has rejected those additional names because of the names that he has submitted were not the ones ordered by the court to be submitted to the IEC. For Honorable Mai Fati, he has just submitted the additional name, which is being processed, and the Commission will respond to him before the close of business today. Aside of these court cases, the IEC also filed appeals against the court ruling. The 3rd case that has been in the court, we cannot talk on that because it's still going at the court as a result of they have changed their summons to a new summons. So the case is at the court for the time being. After the nomination of candidates, the IEC conducted public scrutiny where members of the public were invited to come and look or observe the documentation submitted by the candidate to be approved by the IEC or the returning officer. During this period, it was held between the hours of 8 a.m. to 12 midday on the 6th of November. During this period, 66 registered voters scrutinized candidates' documents, and 3 out of the 66 made some objections to the nominations submitted by the candidates. Again, all objections were dismissed by the returning officer for lack of merit. On the 7th and on the 8th of November, The IEC, together with the candidates, representative, and the police, met to draw a national composite campaign program so as to allow candidates to freely campaign without classing or meeting at any point in time on any day and at any venue. Electoral campaign. The campaign itself started on the 9th of November and will end tomorrow by midnight, which is the 2nd of December. So far, it's very peaceful. We have not received any incident of reported violence. We also want to report that some of the candidates have applied for amendments to the national campaign program, which is allowed and approved. We also allowed regional campaign applications that have been made to our regional offices if they do not coincide or clash with any of the national campaign programs. By and large, for the campaign, so far is peaceful and we have not any incident of violence. Procurement and deployment of election materials. Local purchases of materials have been made and received, as well as international procurement that have arrived. All these materials, both local and international, have now been deployed to the regional offices, and at the regional offices, they have been packed into kit boxes and ready for deployment to the polling centers by tomorrow, the 2nd of December. Recruitment and training of polling staff. The IEC has recruited over 6,078 polling staff. Among them is 140 assistant returning officers who will be in charge of the elections at the constituency level, and 1,554 presiding officers who will be in charge of, who will be the heads of polling stations, and 1,554 assistant presiding officers who will be in charge of the voter rolls at the polling station, and 1,554 polling officers who will be in charge of the indelible ink at the polling station. Another 1,276 polling officers who will be helping voters to identify and to be queuing at their rightful polling station. Training of trainers have been concluded, and also the regional training was just completed yesterday. As of today, all these election staff are at our regional offices trying to be teaming each other, getting ready to be deployed tomorrow to their various polling centers. Deployment is taking place tomorrow on the 2nd and on the 3rd from regional offices to the polling centers. Voting and counting itself will be on the 4th of December between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. On Saturday, the 4th of December at 8 a.m., all the 1,554 polling stations will open. And by 5 o'clock, they will close. But any voter on the queue before 5 will be allowed to vote. But any voter who comes after 5 will not be allowed to vote. And voters, when they go to the polling station, they must go with their voter's card in order to be allowed to vote. The voter can only vote where he or she was also registered. You cannot register in place A and go to place B to vote. It's not allowed. At the end of voting at 5 p.m., polls will close and counting will begin, and counting will be on the spot. In this election is coming at a period of the COVID pandemic, and the IEC has integrated or provided face masks for all its officers, hand sanitizers at the polling station, and gloves for IEC officers. And we also have Red Cross volunteers who will be helping to administer the COVID protocols at the polling station. Election results procedure. Let me just inform you that at this stage, the IEC has written to all the candidates to appoint 2 agents at the polling station, 2 agents at the collation center, 2 agents at the IEC regional offices, and 2 agents at the election house. The results are going to flow in this manner. At the close of poll, after the counting will begin, when counting is done at the polling station result, one will be pasted at the polling station, a copy will be given to the candidate agent present, and a copy taken to the IEC, to the collation center in the region. At the collation center, polling station results will be tabulated, aggregated, and at the end of the tabulation and aggregation, a copy will be given to the agents and a copy taken to the IEC regional offices for further verification. At the IEC regional office too, they will do the verification and vetting of these results before they are sent to the election house or election head office to the chairman for announcement. At all these levels, all the election observers, the media, party agents will be present. So there is no way that anyone can tamper or rig this election. We will be last, we who will be at the head of it will be the last to know the results in fact. So let the public be rest assured that every stakeholder that there cannot be any election rigging in this election. It's not possible. That has not been the case anywhere, at any time. So polling station, we encourage all the candidates to provide their agents. We want all the observers to go at the polling station to observe what is going on, at the collation center, at the IEC regional offices, and at the election house, as long as they are accredited. And one thing we will want to remind, like the chairman said, no person, no individual has the power or the right to announce any results before it is officially announced by the IEC chairman. Let everybody stay away from announcing any unofficial results. This is what we are appealing to everybody. For election security of election personnel and materials, like the Deputy Inspector General rightly said in his presentation, the Office of the Inspector General has provided adequate security at the polling, will be provided adequate security at the polling station, at the collation center. They have already provided at the regional offices and at the election house. This they do together with their security, with their sister security services, such as the Gambia Immigration Department, the Gambia Precincts Service, and the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service. Election observation. The IEC has invited and approved all election observation received from international organizations. Any application for election observation accreditation has been approved, and some of the international organizations that the IEC has approved their application are the African Union, ECOWAS, the European Union, the Commonwealth, ICE, and there are other more. We also receive applications for accreditation from domestic observer groups, such as civil society and individual Gambians, and all these applications have been approved. We also receive applications for accreditation from the media, namely from the local media, the international media, and the online media. We have approved everything. We also receive a solidarity and peer learning mission from our sister electoral commissions in the sub-region, namely the Independent National Electoral Commission of Nigeria, National Electoral Commission of Nigeria, INEC. We have their commissioners here, and the National Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. We have the chairperson right with us in the house. We thank them for coming and thank them for the solidarity. Welcome, gentlemen and ladies. Training for stakeholders. In preparation for this election, the IEC has been conducting monthly stakeholder meeting to brief the stakeholders in the electoral process, namely the political parties, the civil society, the media, and the police. Namely the political parties, the civil society, and the media on the progress being made in the electoral process and the activities to be conducted. The IEC deeming also necessary to train stakeholders such as the political parties, civil society, the media, and the police on their do's and don'ts in the elections. This was done before the nomination. Finally, election support or assistance. In the conduct of this election, the IEC received support from the UNDP through the UNDP Elections Project, IFS, and the African Union. On that note, Mr. Chairman, I wish to thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We await your comments and your questions for answers. We will take it. Can we go back?
Yeah, it's okay. We may occupy the high table, please.
If they say we can go back.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Jai, for that eloquent and very elaborate presentation. I think we're progressing well. Somebody asked me this morning, how ready are you? I said, we are almost there. I hope you can see that. Then next, we have a demonstration of the voting system in the Gambia. These, of course, includes the ballot drums and marbles. Beautiful method in the Gambia. So I'm sure most will be interested to see how it works. On that note, I would like to invite the Director of Operation, Abdullah Jeng, to lead us in this presentation. Welcome, Mr. Jeng. Mr. Mane, can we? Okay.
I hope they will not start the tables. Hello? Can you move a little bit here and give those people behind you to see?
No, they are using projector, Mr. Njai.
Good afternoon. All protocol respectfully. My task is by the chairman and CEO. They So all that I'm going to do is just to introduce you the materials they are going to find at the presentation. I'll start with the drums. These are the drums as mentioned earlier on.
No problem.
Mentioned earlier on. These are the real callers of the candidates contesting for the election. Every candidate has a drum in every polling station, a drum painted in the color of the candidate. So if you can see, I was not just putting the drums at random. I have been putting them carefully because we arrange the drums at the polling station according to the alphabetical order of the names of the candidate by surname. We start from the left. The drums, you are the ones just entering in the compartment. That is why I put the drum facing you from the left. So this is the drum for Baro, Davo, Fal, Jame, Kan, Sala. You see, these are the 6 candidates, and this is how their drums will be laid at the polling station. So you will also, so these are the drums. The process has been explained. We are using the drum and the token. So we also have the token, which was also projected, the token bag. Then we have the sieves and the trays that we obviously use. I don't want to go through the whole process, which was explained by chairman and CEO. So these are the drums, and we use the token to put into the hole. And by the end of the day, that it is the token that we count, and it, represent the voice of the people. So in short, I think I just want to make it so that these are the materials that you will find at the polling station. The process was explained by the chairman. The CEO also has, demonstrated what we have. I think so far so good. I don't want to go very fast, CEO.
Maybe to add to it, the ballot drums are painted in the color of the candidates. You will also have the candidates have also provided their photos and symbols each candidate will, on your ballot drum, you will have your color, and in addition, your photo and your symbol. And these ballot drums are going to be placed inside a compartment, so that when a voter is processed at the polling desk, he will go into a polling compartment. And when he goes inside the polling compartment, he alone will be there, because it's a secret ballot. Nobody will be there to see him, what he or she is going to do inside. And what he or she is expected to do, and only to do, is to put the token that is given to him to cast his or her ballot in the hole of the poll, and you come out. And these ballot drums will be sealed using the red seals, like I said earlier, and they will be tied together using binding wires, because we don't want people to start lifting them and putting them around. So at the end of the polls, they will be opened one after the other, as is rightly stated, and they will be caught here. This is called the counting tree, and whatever is there, we will filter it, and from there, the tokens will be taken to be arranged here. This is called the counting tree, and it has 200 holes, like I already said, 10 by 20 rows. So the number of holes filled by the tokens from a ballot drop is the number of votes obtained by that candidate in that polling station, and this is recorded in the results form at the polling station, and a copy will, and this will go to for the rest of all the to all the candidates, and a copy at the end of the day will be given to the candidate's agent. A copy will be pasted at the polling station, and a copy taken to the IEC. So observers, you will be there, because normally where you open is where you close. The journalists will be there, all the other stakeholders who has applied for accreditation, and everyone who has applied has been accredited already, and the IC staff will be there. So this shows you that no one can rig this election. No one can rig this election. There has been a lot of talks in social media, but we at the head office will be the last person to know even the results. But what we can tell and appeal to everybody, even whereas you have the polling station, nobody has the right or the power to announce the results before it is announced by the chairman. So on that note, I think I will hand over back to the Director of Training and Communication to proceed. Thank you. Okay, Chairman, want to add something? Yes.
Yes, as I said earlier, now we have 6 candidates. In 16 we had 3, now we have 6. And with this freedom the country now enjoys, there will be more and more candidates coming. Instead of having 6 ballot drums, counting trays and sieves and sand, you only have 1 paper. That's why we have to migrate to ballot paper. Because the draft constitution says that we are going to have, they are planning to march up the elections together, so that you have the president and National Assembly election same day. You have the local government elections same day. And there's going to be an election for women, because as CEO just said, they hold the majority of the people, 57%. But how many of them are in parliament? 6 out of 53. So they are planning to have elections just for women for these 7 constituencies. So at least they have minimum 14. And we also try to impress on the political parties to make sure that their nominations for elections, at least 35% will be female. These are areas we have to work. But now we have to march from this ballot drum, which was used since colonial era to now. And we are the only country now left using this. And it's going to have more, we are going to have more and more candidates. Can you imagine? Some of our polling stations are in the street. You don't have school to put them there. So you have 20 candidates. How you line these 20 candidates? And also, now we run out of the major colors. So you have to combine some colors and have to paint it to the red color. So he said, just get the ballot paper. I was in Nigeria during the elections. There were 73 candidates for president, 73. Can you imagine if we have 10 or 20 applicants for candidate for president or for any other authority. So these are areas we have to address. So get ready for them. Thank you.
Okay.
Tomorrow. These ballot drops, without just manufacturing, cost only $1,000. And you have thousands of more. So each candidate, you have thousands of drops across the country. To transport this drop, it's a nightmare. So that's why we are saying we have to migrate now. Because each candidate goes less than over $2 million per candidate. Over $2 million per candidate. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman, for that expose. Like he's just trying to say that we experience challenges in terms of logistics of administering this voting method, which includes the use of the ballot drums. And need be, we need to migrate, but these are not in the laws for now. So currently what we have in the law is the use of the marble and the ballot drum. I hope that's clear. Thank you, Chairman. And next, we would like to open the floor for questions and answer. In case there is any doubt, in case Mr. Mane, maybe you can take around the mic. Any doubts, any comments, feel free. There's a hand there, over there. Okay, number one, maybe we can take three at a time. Huh? Number two and number three, okay? Let's get number one. And maybe you can just announce your name and also your observation mission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me over there?
Very well.
Okay. Thomas Maloney from the University of Edinburgh, working with CRPD here, looking at local perceptions and media representation of election observation missions. We have a large number of election observation missions here, domestic, regional, and international. Could the IEC tell us how you go about working through and perhaps adopting the recommendations from election observation missions? You've had a number in the past. They produce large reports with lots of recommendations. How you go about that process, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Malone.
And the extent to which you've adopted those recommendations.
Okay, thank you, sir. And may we have number two, please, here in front. Here. Okay, thank you. And do we have to have a translation in French? Maybe Abdallah may help us, right?
Hello, sir. Raul, may you please help us translate?
Oh, very well. Thank you.
Connect.
Oh, thank you, Raul. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Je suis Jean-Marie Ngondi Bangante.
Thank you very much. I'm Jamari Bangante.
Je suis du Cameroun.
I'm from Cameroon.
Je suis le chef de mission de plan international pour la démocratie et la paix en Afrique.
I'm leading the mission Plan International for la démocratie en Afrique.
Le chef c'est à Ouagadougou.
Based in Ouaga, Burkina Faso.
Okay. Merci pour la présentation que la commission électorale indépendante a faite.
Thank you for the presentation, Electoral Commission, IEC.
D'accord. Moi, je voulais juste poser une question à deux volets.
Just one question with two aspects, if I may.
Voilà. Les urnes, comme on appelle en français, c'est une innovation. Je n'ai jamais vu ça. Et je voudrais seulement savoir comment est-ce que ces urnes ne sont pas transparentes.
Okay. My first concern is about the ballot boxes. It looks, my first time to see this, it looks like an innovation. My concern is about the opacity. Is there a way to make it transparent?
Concernant, est-ce qu'il y a des dispositions particulières à prendre concernant l'ensemble de tous les observateurs nationaux et internationaux? Merci.
Do you have special provision for international and national citizen observers to facilitate their work, I believe?
Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Zamari. Thank you, Raul. I think the point is captured, right? Okay. And we have number 3. That was number. Yeah. Okay. Very well. You can come back. Eh?
Sorry, the third person was me. I want to start by thanking IEC for the invitation and the accreditation, and commend all the effort and the hard work that has been done so far. We pray for successful outcome and peaceful election. My question is about PWD, specifically blind persons. Are they allowed to come with a person of their choice to enter and identify the drum, or they have to go alone and find their way and use maybe first, second to identify their candidate? That's the first question. The second one, just for understanding, we are here to help the process. It's not criticism, it's just to understand. After the counting on the tray, do you have provision for the marbles to put back in a sack and back in the drum and sealed for recounting purpose, or it's what is recorded in the form that is the final? Yes, of course, there will be party agent, and there is no doubt about what is on the forms because they will sign. So just for clarity, the ballots, the token put back in each box to keep for verification purpose in case you go to court. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Raul, for those questions. And yeah. Yes, we take in 3 and then we respond and then take another 3, please. Huh? Okay. So you want to respond to those questions? Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your questions and your contribution and comments and clarification that you are seeking. The first one is on adopting the recommendation, on how do we adopt the recommendation coming from the elected observation groups. I think this is a very simple thing because the purpose of observation is to add to the credence of the election, more so in the electoral jurisprudence. This is what we expect from you. In fact, we expect from each observer group to send us a report with recommendation. And these reports are usually considered by the commission at commission meeting. And if they are in line with the laws or something that the commission thinks it should be part of the laws, it can be recommended to the lawmakers to integrate them in the electoral laws. Recommendations will be looked in, and those that the commission feel or deems it necessary to be part of the law will be recommended to the lawmakers to include them in the law. The issue on the transparency of the ballot box. Well, this is not a ballot paper. This is a ballot drum. We don't use ballot paper. We use token. And we find you can put it, you can make these things out of plastic, but will it last long? If we are to make this transparent, you can only use plastic or glass. And then the purpose of this, when it was started, it was to last into the foreseeable future. Now we are not even thinking of using this. We are thinking of migrating to ballot paper and ballot box, which will be very transparent. But for now, with this, I don't think we can have a very transparent ballot drum with this, unless you use a ballot drum that is classic, which will be very expensive, and very fragile, which will not be advisable. So I think for now, the commission will hold on to this. The issue on the special, I don't know, what was it, Raul, special what between the international and the local?
Disposition of provision to support or facilitate observers' work.
Yes, for the IEC, what we can do for all the observers is to give you information that you so require. But as we all know, observation and all observers group, you are on your own. Because for you to be relying on IEC for any logistics or any support, that will compromise your independence. So please, you are on your own. For information, you can always call on us, check our website and the like. But for any other support, then that will defeat the purpose of your observation. But of course, we also know we have our friends at individual level, that's it. But officially, we are not offering any support to any observer group. Okay, on the issue of PWDs, in this election, PWDs are given priority to vote, being the blind, the crippled, or you call them, any PWD. However, for the blind, they can go with their with a companion, a person of their choice, to assist them to vote. Should they need an assistant? Should they don't need an assistant, they can go and vote. But we encourage all blind persons to come with an assistant, failure which the presiding officers will have to assist them. And again, if a blind person comes to the polling station with any other person to assist him, that person cannot assist any other person during the election again. Okay, thank you. What happened after the counting to the ballot tokens? Yes, when the ballot tokens are counted, they are removed from the ballot drums. After the count of each ballot drum, the ballot tokens are returned back to the ballot box from which they were from, and they are resealed in case of any call for recount. And when they are resealed, the numbers are also taken, and when they are taken from the collation center, they will be taken to the regional office and kept for a period of the petition period. So it's not just that when you count, you just put everything together. No, you return each number of tokens you counted from the ballot, from each ballot drum, you return it back. So this is what happened. Ballot drums removed from a ballot tokens removed from a ballot drum after counting will be returned to the original ballot drum. So we return them to their ballot drums and we seal them and kept them for in case of election petition. So we can take the next one. Okay. Maybe you can use your desk mic.
Okay, so we have three. Can we take up another three? There was already one hand here. There's another here, number two. And number three from the extreme back. With the, yeah, okay, number three. Yeah, okay. Okay, number one, please.
Yes, thank you very much, IEC, for this work that you have been doing. It's very challenging, but I think we are much encouraged by the work that you have done so far. And perhaps I should also maybe commend the security services. I think for there have been elections that we've witnessed in this country for many years. For the first time, we have not seen them wearing any party colors, for the ruling party, which used to be the case. And I think they must be commended. And they are actually in every campaign that is made by other political parties. But my question is this. We have a lot of national, well, I'm Emmanuel Duke, the chairman of the National Human Rights Commission. But my question really is that we have a lot of national observers. And are you considering the IEC giving them priority, at least to vote when they go to their polling so that they can go around and do other observations? I know that they are not allowed to vote in other areas that they've not registered, but will you give them the priority to actually vote when they get to a polling station so that they can go around to do their observation? I think this is something that you should consider.
Okay, thank you, sir. And maybe we have number two over there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Emeka Zono, Independent National Electoral Commission, Nigeria. I'm just being curious and I want to seek for clarification. I want to presume that you have used this token previously, meaning that the nature of the token has been exposed over the past to the public. Is there a way, because knowing politicians, some can go ahead of you to procure it by whichever way. And some people may come in with some tokens in their pockets or hidden some other places. I'm saying that because you said that the drums is going to be in a compartment and only the person will have access to the drums at that material time. Is there the possibility of somebody coming in with some other unofficial token and feeding the drums? Or is there a way you are going to screen people before they go in to make sure that they don't have other tokens? And in a situation where that happens, and you realize that the number of accredited voters does not tally with the total token you have, what happens? Do you oblige or do you cancel the result? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And now we may have the number 3, right? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. I am Yakubu Manjan, the Affiliate Secretary from Gambia. Thank you. Like I was saying, I am Yakubu Manjan, Executive Secretary, Peace Ambassadors, the Gambia. I want to ask, during the CEO's presentation, he made mention of the coalitions being done at regional level, at constituency level first, then later on to the regional level. I want to know, is there any possibility for the IEC to share those centers and where the coalitions will be happening at constituency level and as well moving to the regional level, so that some of us that are serving as domestic observers will know where we are going to send our observers to be able to monitor those tabulation exercises? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And that's the 3. Now, CEO, can you respond to those?
Yes, thank you very much. To the Honorable Chairman, your proposal for the ICC to consider or give it priority to local observers at polling stations so that they can quickly vote and do their other electoral duties where they are assigned is coming rather too late. And we do not want to give any instruction to our polling staff now out there that will be conflicting and that will not go down across the country. We have noted the concern. Subsequently, we have received, in fact, so many requests for priority that if we should allow it, it may cause some chaos at the polling stations. Because this is a political thing, and many a time, if people queue and you allow others to come and be coming, you are processing them and leave the others who have been queuing there as early as 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Somebody who just come within 5 minutes, you allow him to cast his or her vote because he's just an electoral observer. Then the voters may make noise. So I will advise that we leave it for now. In our reform agenda, we look at these things properly, where we will not only have a priority, but we can have even advanceable voting or proxy voting. This is really affecting some, not only those on observation, but those of security officers who are on election duties, but they are not at the polling station. Moving on the issue of tokens from my boss from Nigeria, welcome. From the INEC Commissioner, welcome. I think the tokens have been really, they have an account. We have what is called token account. We know what is issued to a presiding officer for a particular polling station based on the number of registered voters. And once a voter goes, you are only given one, and anything other than our official token will not be counted as a vote. And in fact, when a voter is given a token, we do not expect any voter to stay inside the polling booth for more than even a minute. If he or she does so, then there is something wrong. And in putting your token inside, there is a bell under. It will ring. If the bell keeps on ringing repetitively, then there is something. So in effect, the chances of an individual voter going inside to vote more than once is very limited. And the chances of having more votes than what is given is very limited because everything is accounted for. And this is, like I said, we have conducted at least 4 presidential elections aside from the transitional election. If you add that, that will make it 5 elections plus the 6th election. We have good experience with this thing, and we have never had an instance where we have overvoting, like we see in other countries where if that's happened, you have to quarantine the votes to investigate. We have never had. I'm privileged and lucky to be part of all these elections since its inception over 27 years now. So we have never had it. So I don't think we will have it because governments are more aware and they know the implications of committing electoral offenses. So we will not get to that level. But again, the question is very valid. We appreciate it. We thank you. Moving on the issue of coalitions, to my brother Yankuma Manjang, yes, like observers like we say now, you have been accredited, you should be moving around the country, and the advice is wherever you go, whichever region you go, please call on the IEC regional office. Go there, they will tell you where the coalition centers will be and where the regional office will be. They have the data, we can give you the data. What I will advise now, we're going to upload that sheet of coalition centers across the country after in our website after this program, because the IT manager is with us, so he cannot do it now. But nevertheless, as an observer, when you go, please find time to call on our regional office for information. The coalition centers are at the regional headquarters. Most of them are not even far from our regional offices. Please go there and find out. But check in our website in the next 2-3 hours. It will be there, inshallah. Okay, thank you. Let's take another phone.
Okay. Thank you. We can take another 3. There's 1 over there. There's 2 here, and 3 behind. Let's take number 1.
All right, thank you very much. Anne Marlborough from the European Union Election Observation Mission. Thank you very much for the very useful presentation so far today. Could I just ask you, please, a little bit more information in relation to the transmission and the announcement of results, please? Maybe you could explain how the results will move between the collation centre and the regional office and then the national headquarters. Also, will there be just a single announcement of the overall national result, or will it be progressive by constituency? And then also, do you plan to release the results by polling station onto the website? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Number 2 here.
Okay, thank you. My name is Juma K. Kamara. I work for the Office of the Ombudsman. My question is actually linked to the first question that was asked. And the response of the CEO was that you do look at the recommendations and make necessary necessary recommendations to the authorities concerned for legislation, for changes to the law. Working for the Ombudsman and within the context of observation, that question is very important to all of us. And the answer, I think, is a bit deficient, in the sense that the recommendations that observers would recommend or do would not all require changes to the laws. A lot of the observations perhaps is about the conduct of IC staff, or the approaches, the processes, or maybe even the police on duty. A number of recommendations would not require legislation. Now, do you have a process of ensuring, or do you have a way of looking at all of those recommendations? We do not require any changes to our laws. We do not require any piece of legislation or changes to the laws. Do you have any process of looking at all of those things and reflecting them in the planning processes and reflecting them in the subsequent conduct of elections? And do you have a means of communicating these to the observers so that they feel that their efforts matter, that their efforts are being considered, that if they are not just coming in and out, I mean, every year, anytime you have an event, they observe, they go, next time they're coming, and they're making very important observations. Do you have a way of communicating back those important recommendations that they have made? We do not even require any changes to our laws. We just are about change of processes. And ensuring that those things are reflected in your subsequent events or programs for improvement. Because observation mainly is not just about ensuring that we feel that the election was fair and fair, but that your process is improved, is enhanced. So I'm very much interested in that part, and I would want the CEO to address that part.
Thank you, Mr. Kamara, Ombudsman. I think if we do.
and the results will be announced as per constituency. When all constituencies are announced, the total constituency will be summed up, and the national results will be announced by the returning officer. Moving on observation recommendation, like my brother said, when I responded to that, I mean those that necessarily need legislation, but administrative operational. We know we do take actions on that immediate. If you know this election that we are conducting, we have taken on board series of issues. For the first time, we have decided to even conduct nominations in 7 days because of the challenging environment. This election, we have made a lot of improvement. So we do not say we are not going to take your recommendation. We valid and cherish your recommendation. Those that are operational that we can change on the spot, that we can adopt on the spot, we will do. We will definitely do. But those that need legal backing, it has to go to the lawmakers. And let me just remind you, the conduct of election is law-guided. You will want to change, but you cannot change at times. We have received so many requests from Gambians to be given the opportunity to vote other than where they are registered. The ferry people, the security. But we are saying no, because the law is not there. If you recommend that the police should vote wherever they are on duty, but the on duty doesn't mean on duty at the polling station. You've made a recommendation to accept it. No, unless the law is changed. That's where I'm talking. But if you also make a recommendation, change time. And the law has also stated the time. How can we change when we can go back? And let me tell you what, like I said, the conduct of election is always law guided. You want to change it, you have to make a proposal to the law. Tell me any activity that's part and parcel of the electoral system that needs to be changed without reversing to the law. Tell me any if you know. Tell me any. You think it's just as simple as, change from 3 to 5. No, it's not like that. Change from 8 to 8. It doesn't go like that. Any activity, any program, any action of the election is legally guided. And it's in the law. So you don't change it like that. You don't change. And we will always look at your observation reports. And we will always go through them. And I will also encourage you to do follow-ups. Observation has just gone from just submitting reports. People come back to follow up. And it's not only follow-up. He who recommend, what do you give the Electoral Commission to implement it? As an observer, you want to tell me that now you don't want this ballot drum. You want a bigger one. How much have you given to the Electoral Commission? We have also funding limitation. So you think it's only easy to talk. We who knows that, we know what we are doing. So it's not like that. We have so many challenges, and the challenges are being tackled or being taken care of as we go. Because some of you will always say, you have not done this thing. What have you given in respect to that? Okay, moving on. Progressive report. Actually, I am not aware of, I know Gambia participate, I know peace ambassadors. I know during the registration, voter registration, you were given progressive report. But for this election, I have yet to see any of your progressive report. I wish I have seen it. And even if I have seen it, at this age, at this hour of the election, you cannot make a significant change to any planned activity unless something that is going to cost the election dearly. And I wish you submit your progressive report, and I wish you to tell us who have you been submitting this progressive report. We have not seen it as far as I'm concerned, honestly. I think that's it. Thank you. We can take another one.
Yeah, okay. We can take another set. I can see a hand over there. I can see another one here. Right, 2. No other. Okay. No, let's have number 1, please, and then number 2. Okay, number 1, you have the floor.
My name is Philip Sen, representing CSO Coalition 2021 elections. The question of what do you do, that is IEC, what does IEC do as regards recommendations coming up? it is coming up repeatedly, despite that IEC is giving answers, it is still not satisfactory. And I hope mine will be the last question pertaining to that. Recommendations, as the gentleman from the Ombudsman said, some don't require going to Parliament, to the legislators. I want to know, because I am aware that 2 recommendations have been coming up persistently. One is for the IEC to be equipped with a statistician, competent, qualified statistician. Number 2, to be equipped with a legal practitioner, somebody who is a qualified lawyer, to be able to read and interpret for them. Now, as far as I know, these 2 recommendations up till now have not been implemented, or if implemented, the feedback has not been received. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And number 2, please.
Thank you. My name is Mari Chabate, Westminster Foundation Observation Mission. I want to speak to issue of media and the campaign related to the clean and fair election. As you know, the Elections Act have mentioned media rules and the conduct of media, IC to regulate the media during elections, and as well as regulate or monitor campaigns. Now, in this election, when we monitor the media, you can see coverages in different forms, and it raises the question of how fair and balanced various media houses are provided. Because there are a lot of adverts going on, political adverts going on in the media, and the law requires, in fact, the IC establish tariffs and which have to be published. We are to see such a tariff being published. But 2, there's a code of conduct on campaign ethics, and when one monitors the campaign, the language and the conduct of political parties, candidates, and their support.
But there are recommendations that does not need legal backing. That's fair enough. I quite understand that. That's what when I was responding, that's where I started. That some of them, they don't need legal backing. That normally we add up and move with it. And the other recommendation that you've been talking about, statistician and legal and this thing, has been coming out there. To you, officially, we have never ever received any official recommendation from anybody in this country suggesting to us the appointment of a statistician or the appointment of a legal team, honestly. And we hope we receive it so that we can move forward. On the discussed when we had a training with the media, and what we encourage them is the airtime rate, the airtime fee that they charge for a candidate should be the same for any other candidate. The rates that they charge. Rally broadcast, and the other one is 10 minutes of party broadcast and in the news. The issue of results, according to law, there is no timeline for results announcement. The law has not stated any time after the closure of poll that the IEC should declare results. That being the case, the IEC cannot tell you any time that it will go into declare the result, but we will endeavor to the best of our knowledge, because we know we are responsible. We know this election result is not for IEC, it's for Gambians and other stakeholders. We will want to give it to you as soon as possible when we are done with it, and we want to give it to you accurately and correctly. That being the case, we are appealing to you when we are doing the results process management. Leave us in peace. We don't want to have any influences, any intimidation, any threat from you that will warrant us to do otherwise. Please leave us. You'll get your results as soon as we are done, and I can assure you, you will get it the soonest when we are done. Thank you. Oh, on campaign ethics. Yes, I know some political parties have also written to us, complained against other political parties, and we have responded. And we have seen some changes that I can tell you. There are a lot of works at the IEC happening that is not publicized, because we want to use the soft approach before we use the hard approach. This is our system of operations or administration. Thank you.
Thank you. This might give me a problem now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm not used to this thing now. Okay, maybe just to buttress on that point of recommendations. I know often it touches on operational issues and sometimes even legal. But when it is about procedure and practices, of course, I know some few have been done. For example, the issue of access to the polling stations. As per recommendations, it is made so that polling stations are placed in areas where wheelchair users can have access to, especially in schools. Okay, this is where feasible. However, it also happens that some recommendations, may not be easily implemented. For example, the issue of providing braille to blind voters. So I think it's good we do it, but it's not quite feasible for now. So I think it's important that observations provide recommendations, and the Commission will do all in its power, whether administrative, whether procedural, or even legal, to get those recommendations implemented. On that note, Mr. Chair, with your permission, we can draw the curtains to this very important briefing. And we thank you all for coming. We thank you for the time and for the attention. And just to inform you that we have some snacks to enjoy somewhere just at the other side. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.